In Citadel, as in Labyrinth and Sepulchre, alongside the imagined characters and the imaginary story that's set against a backdrop of real history and a real place and real events, is, of course, a slightly fantasy element, if you like, a more surreal or esoteric element. Again, for me, the reason for this is the sense that there are different generations interpret history and facts in different sort of ways. And many of the stories of the mountains, particularly of the Pyrenees, who's to say whether they are less or more valid than the stories that get written down in history form? And with Citadel, the esoteric side comes from a codex, a 4th century codex, that is smuggled away from one of the earliest Christian communities in Lyon, Languedoc as it was then called, and down to Gaul and across towards the Pyrenees. And there was a great purge of texts in the 4th century at the point the Christian church was having a battle between the Orthodox sect and those who would like a more esoteric and more Gnostic approach to Christianity. And I have a young monk who's not really a monk yet, taking one of these texts to safety because although he can't read it, it's written in Coptic, doesn't understand it, he believes that the words are powerful and they should be preserved and hidden. One of the inspirations, of course, for this was discovering that in December 1945, the Nag Hammadi scrolls were found. And although my scroll is not one of those, it was the idea that any minute now, that whole cache of extraordinary documents was about to come to light. I'm not going to tell you what particular spirit or story, if you like, is brought to life by the Codex, or why a character familiar to many of you, Audric Bayard, from both Labyrinth and Sepulchre, so much wants to preserve it and then to find it and to use it. But it is, if you like, a story that made it possible for the characters that I love and admire so much in the earlier books to come back and play a small part in the final installment of the Languedoc Trilogy. And I hope that people who've enjoyed the tarot and the ghost stories of Sepulchre and the Grail legends of Labyrinth will find that with the Codex and the story that is told within that by Irenaeus the monk, that it is at least equal in excitement and thought, if you like, to the things that you've read before. I really hope you enjoy it.